God, we ask that you restore our hearts. Restore our hearts. God, renew our minds. Set the captives free. We need you to set the captives free. Yahweh, set the captives free. Oh, Yah, set the captives free. Let your healing light pour over this place. Make your people whole. Make your people
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Precious Shabbat Yahweh. To the YHWH. This is your maturation. Your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the YHWH. Give us this day our daily blessing. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the miracle, and the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of Yahshua. HaMashiach, and bring us to bless him to bring us this Abba Yahweh. To keep us on the straight and narrow way, Abba Yahweh. Not to veer to the left or to the right, Abba Yahweh. But stay straight the course that you intended for us to go, Abba Yahweh. And by the very spirit to try to come against your event, just stay, Abba Yahweh, in the precious and mighty name of Yahshua. HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. For this is the excellence of Yahweh, YisraYah'ale. He has made a covenant with us that we may enter into his beds on this beautiful SHABBAT, that we may offer unto him an offering of Torah and praise, Israel. So let us sing, let us dance unto Yahweh, Abba, for he's worthy of all praise, Israel. Hallelujah.
Everything
Shabbat Shalom. I am more than appreciative to my Abba for all of the great measures that he has poured out upon his nation, his people. I don't cry because I'm sad. I cry because of the great experience that God has allowed me. Things to retain as a young lad. I can't forget. Not to understand the details of what great avenues people of my youth have traveled. But I haven't forgotten.
Hallelujah.
And see the dehumanizing of a people that have never did anybody wrong. They haven't. They have not enslaved or robbed, stolen. Years ago, I reminded us about what they call, I'm going to teach, what they call Black Wall Street. People look like me. I want our children to know. And I told us why Sam Cooke, the song that he wrote, the songs in those days were songs of conscience. It did not denigrate the women. It did not. There was a place that was called Black Wall Street, where the people of my hue owned thousands of homes. There were doctors and laborers and physicians of every sort in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They were loyal to the Caucasians and they were kind. There's no people like that people that consider every creed a man. The Chinese come to this nation and abuse them. The Indians, the Arabs, the whites, they abuse themselves because of the genetic deformity that has been created in their DNA process. So that's how we came with the term white, because it's superior to black. Let me say this before I began, but those Caucasians, these were the people that would help them when other whites were not known to them. They went in and torched over 1,000 homes, their businesses. They killed them like mangy dogs because of what they had valued themselves to the little worth that they were. Yet that people still hold no animosity against anyone. Because of one reason, because Yah says, vengeance is mine, saith Yah. And he is going to repay. There is no doubt about it. He's going to repay. There's no people in this nation that have suffered hardship. I don't know, in this latter age in life, I'm a little more emotional. My tears, they come relative easy. I cry a lot. I cry for them. I do. It's world has really dumbed them down. And every substance of this world is to destroy them. He'll let her live and promote her over him or him. Because she can be a depository of birth for his kind. We're such an ignorant people.
Yeah.
Very ignorant. I recall as a lad the old songs. I don't remember them, but I remember them. I don't forget too many things. I really don't. I don't have a photo memory, but I don't forget things too easily. These were the things that constituted me and gave me the insight that men of my age really don't have. And so that's why Yah has placed the riches, not even a scintilla of His truth that has impregnated my heart.
Hallelujah.
That's why I'm going to teach today as I began last week. I wasn't excited about the way I taught last week. It did not enrich me like what he did the Shabbat before that. But I want to teach today from the substance of Torah, that it may be profound in the sense that it may open our eyes to our folly and evilness of our ways. I want to go back to the Bereshith of all things. And this message will teach us and show us why the death of the black Hebrew boys.
Yes.
I cannot draw from some generalization, but it must be covered in Torah in every degree. That's why words vitally important.
Yes. We
must understand words in their capacity, and we don't. I was thinking about the little words, M-Y, mind. The language that we speak, or we pretend we speak, it is a complex language. English is complex.
Yes.
If you have to start at the same level learning Spanish or English, English would be much harder. It is. To understand the dynamics of it is much more complex.
Yes.
But there's a word in our language, it is spelled M-Y, mind. It is called a possessive adjective. Me, mine.
Yes.
It identifies with one aspect, is simply this. It belongs to me.
Yes.
I made it.
Yes.
I created it. It's mine.
Yes.
You can't suppose what a word means.
Yes.
You have no linguistic skill set
True.
to define words by your own assumptions.
Yes, That's right.
And so everything I teach today will be from Keetvay. And I will allow nothing but Keetvay. The entirety of the book, that which we knew not of, to answer. Hallelujah. I will begin here at Bereshit, Genesis. Because the word, as I began to teach last week, the words Hebrew, which is Ibree, I-B-R-E-E, which is Ibree, and it implies one significant demonstrative demonstration of its meaning. It implies this: one from beyond. It implies the singularity of one, or it is also the plural of those. And the Torah talks about the Hebrew. His lineage was from one of the sons of Noah that we call Shem.
Yes.
S-H-E-M. But in actuality, it is enunciated Shem. S-H-A-M-E. He is the father of the sons of Abed. A-Y-B-E-R. He is the father of the sons of Abed. And Abed is the progenitor of the people whereby these people came out of.
Yes.
Where they came out of. Those. And that one.
Yeah.
Came out of that lineage, of that progeneration, of that type, that people. Yabir means simply this: the region from beyond.
Yes.
One from beyond.
Yes.
There's a region.
Yes.
There's a type that is beyond. The computating of this, one cannot compute.
Yes.
One cannot reason in their mind who this one is.
True.
The knowledge of that comes from the Most High,
Yes.
Almighty Yah, and that's why we've been ignorant.
Hallelujah.
Have not been steadfast in our process of learning and not to learn. There have been things to be impediments, but I never let work or anything impede me to learn.
Hallelujah.
Because I took my book, my supplies everywhere I went. And I laid it, studied. The little small things that we think are beneath us.
Yeah.
And so in Bereshit, Genesis chapter 10, verse 21, I want to just read that. This is a type that those that are Hebrews, they came from this order of this lineage. It says in 10:21 Genesis, Bereshit, unto Shem, also the father of all sons of Abed. He is the father of all of his sons because he is the progenitor of him, the brother of Yahdai and the elder. Even him there were children born. So it is the sons of Shem.
Yes.
Whereby the lineage produced the promises of Almighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
That he promised a kind, a people of this lineage.
Yes.
Those that came out of this bosom have made that seed through the very kinship with that man unto that people.
Yes.
Don't forget, one from above, beyond, and also the region from beyond. The Torah covers all things.
Yeah.
Give us insight on all things. I want to establish the prototype, progeneration of the birth, the coming forth of that kind and that people, and the lineage of that people.
Yeah.
And they found themselves in the bondage of slavery in Misraim because of their callous, corrupt ways.
Yes.
They did not trust in the hand of Yah. And so as Yah turns us over to our own evil, He turned them over to their own sadistic, wicked, corrupt ways.
True.
They sold their own brother into bondage. And that's the way the nation is. We will sell one another out. I will never sell out. YisraYah'ale. We sell one another out for strangers, those that we don't know. And so He calls one to rise up in the midst of all of that depravity. His name was Yosef.
Yes.
Yosef implies only one thing. Yah added.
Yes.
He is the one that adds.
Yes.
There is no one else that adds, only Yah adds. So He calls one to rise. His name was Yosef.
Yes.
But yet the Pharaoh, the king, died. And the word Pharaoh is the great house. There's only one great house. And it's only one. And it implies the great house.
Yes.
There were no names. They were known as Pharaoh, Pharaoh, Pharaoh. In its Latin interpretation, Greek, it implies one thing: the great house.
Yes.
Period. And so as the death came, there arose one that was cold. We can be cold, can we not?
Yes.
You're cold. I don't want to live that way. There arose one that Bereshit, that Exodus tell us, Shemot, Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. It says this: Now there arose up whom? He was established, there arose up a new melech over Mitzrayim, which Yada, which knew not Yosef. He didn't know the heritage. There are those that believe that the workings of darkness, no, they don't know. Because there is something in the bosom of that black Hebrew boy. There's a DNA.
Yes.
It's not revealed to everyone. And we'll see that throughout Scripture.
Hallelujah.
I will show us in the book. And there arose one that did not know the power. Yah's hand, His deliverance, His might unto His hand, His people, His elect. Knows that He had chosen from the masses of the world. And there arose a new melech over Misraim, which Yada, which did not know Yosef. The one that Yah has added.
Yes.
He is the one that adds.
Yes.
He's the one that adds to our wisdom and understanding, our position, our place. He is the one that adds. He is the one that even added the pain.
Yes, God.
We think we know, but we literally do not know.
Yes.
We think we know others, and we don't know them. He did not, he had not learned, he had not understood this one. That has caused the nation to live.
Yes.
I'm talking about the black Hebrew boy.
Yeah.
How can you say he's black? I'm dealing with the black,
Yes.
skin-colored Hebrew boy.
Yeah.
Does the Torah say it that way? We are people that's unlearned. We don't have time for young. And we certainly do not have time for his wisdom and his truth.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yah is the one that adds. I want to give us a picture, a narrative of his people. And one that cried unto Yah, nor be Jeremiah. Quickly, Jeremiah chapter 45. One verse. Don't forget that the word Yosef means that Yah added. And so the Lord speaks unto us and those of that time, us in this time. He speaks from the platform of your corruption, your witchcraft, your idolatrous work, your evil, sadistic ways. Not just because of that, but they were persistent. We're not persistent, we're persistent in our corruption.
Yes.
Our sins and our violence actions against him. And so he cries unto Yah, and Yah commanded him as he speaks. Jeremiah 45:3. You did say, woe to me now. He understood Yosef, his position. He says, Yah has added. And so Yosef, even that disposition of his personality, his name, he was letting us know that Yah is going to add.
Yes.
He's going to add not only the multitude of the kind like you, but he's going to add sorrows. He's going to add great sorrows. Not is that you feel bad, but it is a physical and mental suppression of depression like no other kind.
Yes.
That Yah has added these great sorrows, whereby my mental anguish and my physical stamina, it cannot endure. 400 years of a people,
Yes.
been in a nation that you tell me they're not going to have mental anguishes, great pain for certain. There's a deformity in our minds that we see replicated even down from generation to generation. It's one thing I bless Yah for. I don't feel sorry for me. I just brought my upon that he brought me along at this time. And I meant it. And the things that he has revealed to me from this book, I do rock him for them. He said, Yah has added. Yosef, the name implies, Yah has added. He added the pains of great suffering, of the great nachob, and mental suppression, the agony of great pain. He says, I faint in my side. I'm so worn out. My last breath, I sigh, I cry. I have no deliverance. He said, in all of that, I find no rest. And you can see if he said, I found some liberation. Right. He said, I find no rest. No sure facts. No comforting, no rest. Yes. Anything that appeases this flesh, I find no. He was a Hebrew man. Yeah. The ones I speak of, they were all Hebrew men. Yes. They were once Hebrew boys. And they maturated into a Hebrew man. Yes. That's what they maturated into. He said, I find no rest. The king did not know Joseph. So there was a reminder of this people. As he saw their community being added to the growth, the maturation, the strength, the beauty of that people, yes, that it extended beyond the boundaries of his capability. Yes. Why? They were smart, yes, intelligent. He saw the population rising. That's why these dogs have caused women that have birthed my kind to abort. The mothers have not taught. Kill their babies. This bull dagger singer or Planned Parenthood is just a fact. That we have been removed as a kind from any kind of sensitivity of love and care. Yes. We don't know how to care. Yeah. We don't even know how to touch each other. Yes. I love hugging the achim. Yeah. Put the heart there. Yes. You feel me. Yeah. We would say that in the days. You feel me? You feel me? Feel. We've lost all of that. You don't know how to feel. This is his command unto the midwives, the YHWH, those that support life and bring forth life, those that strengthen life. That's what a YHWH is. Yes. She nurtures life. It doesn't mean you have to bring forth a child. True. Have one out of your bosom or even deliver one. Hallelujah. It is one that brings forth the substance of life, that strengthens and beautifies. Yes. Brings the nutrition of the nourishment of life that they grow up. Hallelujah. Into one that is strong. Yes. Bona fide and fortified with the knowledge they have learned. And so the king saw that. And these are his words. Exodus 1:60. And the Melech of Mizraim said, when you do the office of a midwife, a YHWH, one that brings the seed out of the dark chamber of life, he said, when you do that to the Hebrew woman, he is specific. Yes. One that is from beyond. Yes. One that is the Hebrew. When you do it to the Hebrew woman and see them upon the stool, if it be a son. I'm going to break that down, don't worry. Yes. If it be a son, 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 yes, then you shall move it. I want you to execute it. Yes. Bash its head. They suck the babies out of the womb of these women to death. Yes. That is not even cruel. There is no superlative to express the hideousness of that.
Yes.
They grind them up in little pieces, utilize them in their products, things that you think is important. He said, I want you to execute them.
Yes.
Move, to kill them. If they come out screaming, cut the head off,
Yes.
but you've got to kill it. Why the son?
Right.
He said, but if it be a Torah, then she shall YHWH. I want her to live.
Yeah.
We can use her. She can become a part of my paramour. She'll become a whore for me.
Yes.
I take my pleasures within her. That's just the fact.
Truth.
So these damn dirty bastards, I say it,
Yes.
that will reduce a daughter or a woman down to just some sensual pleasure,
Yes.
the damn dog.
Truth.
Am I talking about men like Bishop Charles Down?
Yes.
Don't tell him I said that. The dog,
Hallelujah.
they're evil.
Yes.
Those that identify with the mantra of Hebrew Israelites, they make mockery of it.
Truth.
Am I talking against them? Certainly.
Yes.
You will see why. If it be a son, if it be a man child, if it be a boy man,
Yes.
if it be a son. Why? If it be a son, I want you to kill it. It's a daughter, let her live. Verse 19. And the midwife says to Pharaoh, this is my great house, what he said. This is my kingdom. But there's something about a son. And that which Yah has put that DNA in the man or the boy man.
Yes.
I will prove it with great substance of Torah.
Hallelujah.
You don't have to figure it out.
Yes.
The book will answer it.
Hallelujah.
We don't see beyond our limited abilities that we rationalize in the concept of learning of what we can read.
Right.
Every level of life, they have masters of all kinds of degrees.
True.
That's what they call them, doctors.
Yes.
They've gone to the extreme and their scholarship is profound. I have no
Yes.
scholarship. He does.
Yeah.
And they're the great teachers of the world that teach things not only by verbalizing, but by experience.
Hallelujah.
He said, I want you to kill them. But the Hebrew women said, because the Hebrew woman is not like the Mizrahi. She's not like the Egyptian woman.
Right.
And I tell us all the time, we have learned stupid ways, daughters.
Yes.
You want to look like these damn fools. Your fake hair and your fake nails and your fake titties and your fake buttocks. No, don't tell me, don't say it.
Hallelujah.
You find no expression of compliment among yours that look like you.
Right.
You don't give a damn.
Truth.
You hate you. You despise you.
Yes.
You want to look like... I was talking to my issue and I tell her all the time, there is no woman more beautiful. No woman that looks like her. I'm saying to my young friend, I say, even when they're fat, there's an attractiveness like no other woman.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
And you have beguiled them, mothers.
Yes.
You have tricked them. But they hate themselves. It's a mental disorder here.
Yes, sir. Right.
It is true. They don't even know how to love themselves.
Yes.
If you don't love yourself, you can't love me.
Right.
He said that the Hebrew women are not like the Mizrahi woman, for they are alive. For they're full of the hard ear of Yah. That's a true, and that is the precise dynamics of a daughter that is an Ibria. She's alive. She's lively. She has life. She's robust. She doesn't live for the moment. She lives for the kingdom promise and promises. She said they are lively and deliver before the midwives, even visit them. The women of great strength. Let me say, I picked cotton as a young lad. I did not understand the very agony of it. But I knew my grandmother with that extra pound or 2 or 20 I could pick would bring an extra dime nickel. They would rob the people. My grandmother's youth. What could she do? She learned the minimum skill set to read. She had no education. Because her help was needed in the field. That is one thing I've never done in my life. People that look like me, I won't do them wrong. Look how they do me, what they say. Okay. You can't do me any harm. Even those that have made themselves my enemy, I'm not your enemy. Because first of all, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you at all. Period. Even in my old age, I'm not afraid of you. So I don't fear you. There's nothing you're going to do to me because your fears will not permit you to do that to me. And that's a fact. You can do it to someone else, but not me. Period. Hallelujah. That's right. Amen. Why? If it be a son, I want you to kill us. I want to make one of the clarification. We'll go back to 2, Zephaniah. The Dawid the prophet, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. I want to go back there just for a moment, and then we get into the great substance of this teaching. The book will teach you. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. He speaks to a region, a people, one that is from beyond. And the reason he speaks to them is because of one thing. If you study the writings of Zephaniah, he speaks to them in the midst of all of your agony and pain. He assures them and reassures them of one thing, that you can expect my kindness to befall you. You can expect that.
Yes.
That's what he's talking about.
Yes.
He said, I know you think you're lost. You're not lost.
Hallelujah.
And this is what Zephaniah the Navi brings to them, that you can expect the hand of Yah
Yes.
to be with you.
Yes.
This is what the prophet speaks. Great wisdom.
Yes.
Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9. Yah says, I know what you're going through, but he says, for then will I turn to. Don't forget. I'm going to turn to the people, those that of a bara.
Yes.
The language of confidence, it has not been tainted. They do not use things to cause them to remove their mind of themselves from the pure things of Yah. I will deal with the people with the language that is polished. Their talk, their actions, their activity has been refined. They have been refined. A trial, tribulation. You can't get nothing without taking it through the grind.
Yes.
It comes that way. You cannot get a polish. I've used knives, especially from Japan. I have one. It's just different than the knives made in America you buy at a Walmart. Those are not knives. But the intense of the heat is so powerful. But it does not destroy the elements, and the trials can be beyond our reach to comprehend. But it doesn't destroy the promises of God. It's in the DNA.
Yes, sir.
And so I have one here. When I use that knife, I think I paid 100 plus. What's a cheap knife? As far as Japanese knives, it cuts. The sharpness, it stays. And it cuts. It gets a nice one. He said, I'm going to deal with this people as a comma. And they shall all, not some of them, but they shall all. They shall all chara, speak with a volume.
Yes.
That protest and attest to the power of Yah. And they shall all call upon the name of Almighty Yah. They're not going to call upon a high name. These violent whorehouses are having trouble. They've never dealt with the reality of the lies of this violent faggot, Jesus Christ. The white ones now are trying to repent, knowing that the wrong that they've done to others. Believe me, they are, because the monies are falling off. People are not going back to these nasty wild, and they know it. They know it. They know that. And they're trying to make amends. But you can't make amends like that. The only thing you can do is come out and say that Jesus Christ, the concept of this violent beast, is a lie. I'm going to show you it's a lot right here. They're going to call upon him with the pure language on his name. And above all, they're going to serve him with one volume of a voice, with one consent, in all agreement. And he tells us where they shall come from. This is where the bosom of this people and the birth of them shall come out throughout all the world. And they're still there. For beyond, the word beyond, Abia, from beyond the rivers of Cush. Okay? O-O-S-H. Cush. The word Cush means one thing. Black. Yes. It is not like Hana. H-A-W-T-A-R. It is Cush. Yes. Cush. Cush. It means and defines one thing. Yes. There are no other superlatives or anything to give it the definition, graphics. It means one thing, black. B-L-A-C-K. B-L-A-C-K. You're ashamed of the color of your skin because it's darker than mine. You're sick. Yeah. And you pontificate because yours is lighter. Yeah. You are a sick, stupid creature. Yes. That's nothing like the beauty of blackness. Yeah. How do I know? Because all women that are overweight, men like me, they put on black because it makes them look better. It doesn't show all the lines and all of that. Yeah. Get out of here, you know it does. People don't buy white suits, they buy black suits. Yeah. Get out of here, you people. Come on, let's deal with reality. Yeah. We got to destroy this concept of lies. Yeah. The greatness of whiteism in the White House. Yeah. Right. You can't be afraid. And I'm not afraid. Too old to be afraid. Yeah. We must deal with the honesty. Yeah. With forthrightness. That's right. Hallelujah. Yes. He said they shall come from Abia, from beyond. Where beyond? Beyond the rivers. powerful rivers that represents the 10 tribes or the 12 tribes. 12 rivers. I brought that out to some degree last week. But the 12 rivers that pour into the substance of the great Nile of Cush. He calls them his supply. Simply his Abdah. Meaning that those that Shachar, or in words of all of our comprehension, those that worship, those that bow, those that love him. We can't say we love him and we don't give a damn about each other. And that's just a fact. I don't care. No, my care and the care of YisraYah'ale should be the same. I'm not going to like her better than I like you. The same. And love is equal. And that's just a fact. You that don't know how to love, you will do it that way. Because you don't know a damn thing about love. You base things on emotion and association. You don't know a damn thing about love. I tell you all the story at the end that I've never met this person. My love for this person, I was weeping for the person this morning. When I got someone that I put, I haven't discussed it with any of them, but with one. Something is wrong when we don't want to be loved. I want to be loved. If you don't love me, it's all right. I want to be loved. I want to love this nation. But if you don't love me, it's all right. I'm not going to give up on the promises of God. You don't love me. That's just a fact. He said, they are my altar, those that shall gravitate to me. Pharaoh says, say the daughters. And then he says there's a comma. And then he says, even as there's parallel, their parity, even my daughters of mine disperse. So instead of allowing those to rob and rape and pillage them, the word disperse is puts. He scattered them. And that's why we find many women that look like you, they're scattered. They have really no contact. They have no makeup in that region. Yah says, I've scattered. He didn't say he scattered the men. He said, my daughters, whom I've scattered, who the sons of Pharaoh have taken them and robbed them and stole their beauty. So you got YHWH, as Curtis Mayfield said, YHWH, you honor the treasure, who he really is. That's what he says. The daughters of my dispersed, those that don't even know you don't know things. He said they're going to bring my offerings. You're going to bring the Shabbat. The great beauty of praise and honor unto Yah. He's dispersed you, but he's going to reunite you with all of those that are beyond the rivers of Cush, Sudan, Madagascar, South Africa, and all. These people are scattered. He's going back there to that people. He's going to pull out because there will be those that understand the blackness of pain and death and the crushing blows of the great agony, as Jeremiah says. He has added, Yah has added to my sorrows and my great pains and my great agony. There's no people, those that were indigenous to this land, when the people began to migrate here on slave ships and all. Can I tell us something, nation? The transatlantic voyage, there were over, listen to me, 30,000 voyages, ships. And records do not show us how many were lost in the bottom of the Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean is a vicious ocean. It's not something to play with. But by records of account, over 1,000. Can you imagine one shackle on the belly of that carrier, resting in his and her feces, hundreds like sardines defecating on themselves, and to be swallowed up in the well of this great massive flow? I haven't gone through anything. No. Nothing. And no one will ever find it. The Atlantic is scattered with bones. Over 30,000 boys. Oh, I know we got too much time because we want to play on MySpace and Uspace and Facebook and that bullshit. I said like what it is. You waste your life in that. Posting you. What's about you that needs to be posted? There's nothing about me how I post. I can look at my physical nakedness. I don't want nothing about me so much. I say that again, I can look at my physical nakedness. Where are the older ones? You don't find too many talking like me, my age. It's sad. It's sad. You're full of bull. And I said with no repentance, no apology. There is one by the name of YHWH. He writes unto us as to why we must kill the black Hebrew boy. I know you think that he's going to try to trust something to make it fit now. What will answer? There's a DNA that is in the process of that boy. He's a Hebrew. Like no other people. And I'm going to begin the process to show you how I know, because the book tells me. And why. Let's go to the writings of Yeshua, chapter 17. And I want to begin at verse 1. Yeshua. Hallelujah. In verse 1. It says, in the third year from the birth of Moshe, third year now. Third year from the birth. How many are 3 years of age? I know my little beautiful one here is, she's 5 years old. Who is 3 in here? Huda? Huda the monster? I got something for you, Huda. Don't worry about it. From the birth of Moshe, 3 years, Yeshua. It's in the other book. It says the birth of Moshe, Pharaoh was sitting at a banquet when Arina, the queen, was sitting with him. On his right hand side was Bethia, and on his left, right and left, it says the lad. It says the lad. You see what it says that? Yes. It says the lad, Moshe, was lying upon his bosom. The lad. Yes. The lad. He was lying upon her bosom, and Bilam And those that are of the Balaam or Bilam spirit, it is of this nature. They don't give a damn, they don't care. Because that's what the word Balaam means. Not to care for the people. When you don't give a damn about his people, that's the spirit. When you care about his nation, you care about everybody the same.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
And Bilam, he was none of the people. So Beor, with his 2 sons, and all the princes of the kingdom, was sitting at the table in the king's presence. All of this body of men, women, eating, dining. And all of a sudden now, we would deal with the child, a child. It says in verse 2, the lad. How old are you, Hura? 3. The lad, that's 3. Come up here, Hura. Come on up here, boy. This is Moshe right here. Come on up here, boy. Come on, son. This is Hura. Look up there. This is Moshe. Say Shalom. This is Hura. I call him Hura. I know his name, I call him Hura. That's 3, that's Moshe. Oh, I know how we think, but that's Moshe. It says the Lord Moshe, he stretched forth his hand upon the king's head, and he took the crown from the king's rush, and he placed it upon his own head. He said, I'm a bad boy, 3 years old, killed every Hebrew boy. As my grandmother would say, he reached over there. You can reach. He reached over and understood the disposition and the power. Well, children, that's a child. That's what, and that's how you think.
Right.
He wrenched the crown from the king's head and said, this earth is mine. This is the great house that I'm standing for. I'll prove it. I know that we don't study the book. We don't have time, and we try to interject us as into what the Torah says. We try to determine what it means. I will let the book answer. So he reached over, he did not ask. He took the crown from the king's head and he placed it upon his own head. He understood by the power of that DNA. It was a crown of exceptional splendor. I'm going to teach from this book, but I want to carry us to Torah, that you cannot say you read sequentially from one book and he not shows the application of that. And the writings that I'm familiar with, hold that book and let's go to Isaiah, YisraYah'ale. That statement of power was in him as a child. That's why you should train them up. There's only one way for them to go, the way of Torah. You don't give them over to the wicked application of the world. You indoctrinate them with lies and corruption. Damn wicked movies and things. You take your babies there and you let them. You're wicked. You don't give a damn who you is. You're violent. You don't give them to lies. The first time Evangelist Hartsfield told me that, I never went back to him. He said there's synagogues of hell because they're full of lies. You can't get truth out of that. It is right, and I never went back. Haven't gone back. Let's remember he was a child for 3 years. He was Hura. And Hura looked at the old king, as Greta would say, the old king, And he said, give it up. Because I have something in me that shall come forth out of me like no other people on the face of the earth. Let's go to Isaiah quickly, and I'm going back to Joshua chapter 70 verse 3. It says in Isaiah 28:5, I want to show you what Moshe did and what that represented that day. This is what it represents. This is what has been, as we would think or know, it has stood fast. This is what he says in Isaiah 28:5. He says, in that day shall Yah of hosts, he shall be a crown of splendor. Yes. He is our crown of splendor. Yes. Yeah. That's why he rests Yeshua HaMashiach upon the Rusha. He is our Rusha. Yeah. He is the head. Yes. He is the chief. Yes. He is the head of the cornerstone. He said he shall be a crown of splendor, and he shall be a diadem. That's where your beauty comes from, daughters of Zion, not from some damn fake hair. Hallelujah. Some wig wash, painting yourself up, wearing damn wigs. Take it off. Yes. It's evil. It's evil. Yes. That's just a fact. I don't care whether you love me or not. Whether you agree with me, it doesn't make any difference. I will prove all things by this book. He shall be a diadem of beauty to who? The remnants. Yes. The Shavats, the small fruit, the remnant of his people. That's our beauty. Hallelujah. You gonna tell me some Indian woman's hair is your beauty? No. I'm appalled at that. Yes, sir. I'm appalled at it. Yes. I'm appalled at that. Yeah. That the women of my youth got such false reality of what is beautiful. You work on that more than you work on your heart. Hallelujah. You work on that more than you work on your children. Yes. You work with that more than you work on your husband. It's a damn shame. It's evil, and it's all coming down. It's all vanity. It's only for a moment. Can I tell you, you're all going to die. Just like I'm going to die. I have no fear of dying in the sense, Lord, I'm going to die. I prepare every day to die. It doesn't perplex me. It doesn't worry me. It doesn't agonize me. But I know for sure, as I live another day, I'm closer to death. And that's just a fact. He shall be the crown of the remnant of his people. Verse 6. And for the ruach of judgment to him that sit in judgment. That is what that crown represents. That's why Moshe said, no, I sit in the judgment seat. I sit on the pinnacle of the throne of Almighty Yah. So he wrenched it off the king's head. Yes. He took it. Yes. And for the strength of him that turned the battle to the gate. What was he? He was a son of Adiah. He was an Ibri. He was a son of YisraYah'ale. His land was from the region of Kusha. Yes. He was known as those that were black and regal and tall and bronze. Why don't these damn devils in Christianity teach the truth? Right. They can never understand that. Hallelujah. And they can never know this kind of truth. Now look at the results of that action of a tree. You think that little boy can say anything or do anything that would terrorize me? No, when Yah's hand ordained it, he can. He got up himself walking on the air, you will get terrorized. But there is nothing he can do to cause me to tremble. It says in Joshua 73, and when the king and the princess saw the works, it still identifies him as a boy. It says the boy. It says the boy. When they saw what the boy had done, the queen, the king, and the princess and those in his entourage, it says they were rats. They were terrified. They trembled. Children do that all the time. Take the hats off daddy's head. They've been known to pull the wigs off the mama's head. Children do that. But this created a tyranny of terror like no one. They were terrified. They feared. They were in anxiety. Taking the king's crown. That was his grandboy. But there was trepidation, fear and terror because of the black Hebrew boy beyond the rivers of Cush. He was terrified. He was in great fear, all of them. It says, and not only were they terrified, and one man to his neighbor, expression Timahon. He was astonished, but that will not astonish me. They knew the handwritings of those that they had inquired of the witchery and all of their astrology. And they touched on the circumference of things, but they didn't know the depths of it. They were all terrified. They were Timahon. They were full of trepidation and fear. They were bewildered. They didn't know how to respond. They gasped for air. A child taking the crown. The old folks will say, devil, your kingdom is a coming down. Use it in being here. Your kingdom. Oh, over this world. But devil, I tell you, your kingdom is coming down. It's coming down to the corners of hell. Not only did that statement represent that, but it speaks of the tyranny and the terrifying recompense of Yah. We don't know Yah. We've known him from this convoluted concept, from this violent religious and the religion of Christianity of lies. That's what you know. It's a wicked lie. And Jesus Christ is a damn dog. I don't apologize. I know of only one Jesus, and it's a white hippie devil. He's the same image of all the world. And you know it. Devil. Use it and build your kingdom all over this world. You know it's coming down, down, down. It's coming down. There's only one. And let's get real. I haven't been keeping up, but you got all these Caucasian preachers apologizing with the scenario today and said we've been wrong. They've lied to people that look like me. That's what they're doing. They lie. They reduce men that look like me. As though they have no intellect. And there's not one of them can stand up to me in a debate. I debate the greatest of scholars. And that's a fact. When no hermeneutics or homiletics or any of that, I'll debate them from the book. Moving quickly, nation. They were terrified, and one of the men expressed his neighbor, this is astonishing. This is Timahon. I'm stupefied, I'm bewildered. I don't even know how to grasp this. I don't even know how to interpret this. Kill all the black Hebrew boys. And they're doing it today. They're doing it, parents, and you are permitting them to do it. You're letting them into your home, your ears, and you are stupid as they come. You think it makes them intelligent. That's not intelligent because you have bits and pieces of information. That's stupid. The intelligent man has the thorough ability to process knowledge and things and to make it work. I was speaking to him the other day concerning some of the most prominent inventions in the world. The Eli Whitleys of the world and all of them, the great choir, because they have to find a way to make things work instead of working 15 hours a day, to invent some of the great inventions that they did.
Right. So true.
They had no power to get a patent.
Right.
It was the white man that took it and said, it's mine.
True.
And that's just the truth. We must deal with the reality of history and truth.
True.
You're not smart because you can say A, B, C, D, F, G. But a man is brilliant. He can take a thought and process all of that thought and add in all of the little things that it needs to come to completion.
Right.
They don't teach your children to be smart.
True.
Teach them to dumb them down.
Right. So true.
Teach them to have no sensitivity.
All right.
None. Parents, you better get off your wicked backside.
Yeah.
And do honest by your young'uns. Tell them the truth. Your damn children here said like that, it's no better than no one's.
Yeah.
We think that stupid mess.
Yeah.
That's telling him all the time, I'm making pay attention. Listen to me, boy, look at me. I said to him the other day, he turned against me on Friday. He was telling this brother back here, what you doing over here? Much easier what I'm doing over there with him. I don't mind staying here with you. But that out there, because as you say to me, boy, yes, sir, you're a sergeant. And I don't play.
Yeah.
I say, I fuss, don't I? Yes, sir, dear sergeant, you fuss. I say, I fuss a lot, don't I? Yes, sir, dear sergeant. I say, I make my voice no, don't I? That's how I talk. I don't care if you hear me. Yes, sir, dear sergeant. I say, stand upright, boy. Get your chest up your arms by your sergeant. And I don't better not, he think he's tough. I'll watch him. You go to back before I back. He tries with everything. I let it cool off for 30 seconds. I said, I do fuss, don't I? He said, yes, sir, dear sergeant. I said, I got one question to ask you. And I don't. Do you ever fuss at him? He said, all the time. I said, why you fuss? He don't do things right. I said, that's why I'm fussing with you, boy. But you don't do things right. You can always find out what one is by their actions. They speak, but I can't speak. No, he's not going to speak to me. I'm the one that's the boss man. I'm the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
I step it right. And I'll make him march up there. Spit your chest up and march. You're down, you're right, left. He marched that way too. Boy, I want you to look at me the whole time. I don't want you looking at little goats or nothing. You look at me. You must look to him.
Yeah.
That's where help comes from. You play with them, I don't play with them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I say, thank you, sir. Thank you kindly, my friend. For your hand, I needed it.
Yeah.
You look one day when you're 40 years old with your children. That fist's going to last that long. It's going to last that long. You can say, oh, Papa's long, that's his grave over there. He's gone. We built this.
Yeah.
Who? No grave. No, I don't want that promise. I said to her the other night, I said, you know, I'd rather that you die first, nobody but us. And I can bury you. I said, I don't think it's good. I won't even call the extraction because you're dead. I'll just bury you. And I say, when I die with my heels propped up on the desk. They'll find me sometime. I won't even worry about it. You're going to be buried out there. I know what I said. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
From beyond. Quickly to Philippians, Lycia. They were afraid, they were terrified. This is our constant. We must do this in order not to be terrified. You understand, nation?
Yeah.
This is what we must do, Felicia. This is what YHWH writes to us and to those. One thing, we must be zealous. That must be an intense fervor of desire and passion. Whatever we do, we must do it with zeal. So he writes in Philippians 1:28. He says, in nothing, and in nothing, in all the things that you come against or come against you, he said, in nothing be terrified. I don't want you to have no do-or-roll. I don't want you to be intimidated and afraid when you can function in the will of God. Do not be terrified by your adversaries. How can a 3-year-old boy be an adversary? But they were terrified. He said, I don't want you to be terrified. He says, why? Because it is your personal conduct. He said, whose personal conduct is in the sight, is a sign to their future destruction. So those that do you wrong is their conduct. You got to know that there's going to be destruction. That's why people, I'm telling us, YisraYah'ale, we must do right by all men. I don't care who he is. I don't care what color his skin, what formation of a man or the woman. And then there should be an emotion for the house of YisraYah'ale like no one else, but especially the nation. Hallelujah. Especially those that have been purchased. Especially those. He said that's their future destruction. He said, but your conduct speaks of your YHWH, your covenants of salvation and Almighty God. That's what my conduct represents. I want you to know that I have assurance, that I have the YHWH. He's my Yoshach. He is my deliverer. He's the one that established me. He's the one that made me free. I don't need no damn dope or nothing like that. You will keep my mind in Shalom. If it's steadfast on Him. You're not going to add 1 cubit to your worrying. Fool up. Look at what the world said about me. If I can go through, I went through my natural family. You come on. Look at what they said. It make me no different. It did not take any skin off my toes. Not one bit. It didn't make me no different what they said. Come on back. It didn't make any difference. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I want to read 3 more verses in Yeshua. Go back there. Verse 4. Look at this now. All of this is vitally important. And it would take me another 10 teachings to teach this the way I want to. So I want to move somewhat expeditiously. He says in verse 4, and the king said to the princes who were before at table with him, he said, what do you think? What speak you? And what says you, O princes, in this matter? And what is to be the judgment against the boy on this account of this act? You tell me you got to bring minds together to judge a lad. He was a boy. Take the crown off the king's head. No, they had studied the signs. These were men that knew the omens, and they were soothsayers and witch doctors and root doctors. And this was not just some passing thing. For Moshe to take the crown, we're going to overcome Israel. We're going to overcome the kingdoms of this world. It's going to be done in the black Hebrew boy. He invested that. That's why the singers of the world want to kill you. If you're pregnant, don't kill the baby. Don't offer it up to meat factories. You will never in all of your life outlive that. I remember one sneaking up to me one day in the dining hall and telling me things. I will. I knew of the 2 abortions. And those things will consume a woman. And that's why that person is wicked as hell now. A dog. Who was she? Don't worry about it. That's not the only one. No, nobody told me, came out of their mouths. Why would they tell me that? They may have told you. They knew they could trust me. Isn't that amazing? They knew they could trust me. And it would go nowhere. And I've never said anything all these many, many years. You're not going to get by. Whatsoever man soweth, you're going to reap it. Don't think you're getting by. Say, what shall be the judgment? It doesn't say against this man, but it says the judgment against the boy.
Yes.
Against the boy. I want you to kill every Hebrew boy, every child. Leave the daughters for us. Yah says, I will disperse the daughters. You will find the Hebrew man. You may not know, but he will be the Zerah of YisraYah'ale, and he will bring forth seed unto you.
Yes.
Tell it them. Stupid analogies of where the nation is.
Right. Yes.
Look at all the skin complexion that's in here.
Yes.
From one extreme, you're just dark, my friend. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I challenged her the other day. I said, look at me. Look in the mirror. Look. Look at that. It's burning black. That's right. I said, look, see that? I'm in the sun. You're not. Look at that profile of that big nose, wide, thick. I'm not ashamed of me. You're a fool.
Yes.
Look at what I look like to no man. No woman. Okay.
Yes, God.
Now I say, look at that big, wide nose. It's beauty. And it's black too.
Yeah.
It's darker than pecan brown. Pecan brown. It's black. I like the reflection of that mirror because it makes me look darker.
Yeah.
You can't even come close to that daughter Zion. Period. You fuss all you want to, but I'm king when it comes to that.
Yeah.
For this moment. And look what who inquired in verse 5 quickly. Bela, the sons of Beor. And he talks about the Chatum and the magicians. Those that study the magics of omens and astrology. Answered before the king and the princes that said, Zerka, just remember, oh my lords and my king, the dream which you did dream many days since, that which you were your servants, they interpreted that dream for you.
Right.
Those, they gave you wisdom of that. So we would draw from those that challenged Moshe when Aharon stood in the king's court. You see, they didn't know them.
Right.
They didn't know them. Verse 6. Now therefore, this is important. You tell me y'all doesn't put that in a child.
Yes.
We are crazy.
We are.
We're crazy. We don't know nothing. I'm going to pull some things right here. He says, therefore, this is a not no,
Yes.
this is a giant. He knows nothing. You think so? I'll never forget that day, that experience I had. I didn't know y'all.
Yeah.
I was a child. And I will never forget it.
Yeah.
I will never.
Yeah.
It was no imagination. It was vitality of reality.
Yes.
I remember that day when I had on those little tan shorts and a striped shirt, preaching. I believe it was on a mound of Potato Hill. Nobody but myself and the Melechim of Yah. I'm still a nobody. I was a nobody then, and I'm a no. I don't want to be somebody.
Yeah.
They said, well, this child, he is a child. Look what he says. Now, therefore, this is he's a child. From, now don't forget, King, from the Hebrew children. It sounds that, doesn't it?
Yes.
He knew he was a Hebrew. They knew he was not a son of Israel. He's a child that's a Hebrew. He was raised in your house, man.
Yes.
His skin complexion looked just like yours. They said, this is not just any boy. He is of the children of the Hebrew. In whom? You see? Child now.
Right.
In whom the Ruach of Yah. In whom the Ruach, the life, the power, the testimony of Yah. Let not me, lords, the king imagine that this youngster did the thing without knowledge. Huda, let me see you again, boy. Wake up, Huda. Come out here, boy. Come here, boy. How old are you, Huda? Come here, boy. Pull that chair over here. You happy? Pull that chair right here, boy. Come on over here. I'm happy. You don't get that on me. Oh, Huda. How old are you, Huda? You know how you only count them numbers? How old are you? What does this boy know? Who is that? That's Moshe. Huda. I'll see what you know now. Can you tell me what 10 minus 10 equal? Sound like that. Tell me that. What does it equal? You missed it by a shot there, son. You won't tell me he knows something? He has the knowledge. Or would you rather have a pound cake, a slice of sweet potato pie? Which one you like the best? I like pound cake better. What knowledge this boy got? I know that it's some form of dramatization, but this is Moshe.
Yes.
Like that? You like being Moshe? But you're Hura. You're Yahura.
Yeah.
This is Moshe.
Yes.
I want us to understand. This is Moshe. Take that off my head, Huda. Take it off. What you gonna do with that, Huda? Nothing. He took the king's crown. You tell me who got knowledge of even what I'm doing, he understands this. He's got sense, he knows he's before. You know all those folks out there, don't you? You ready to go back and sit down? You ashamed? You have to be ashamed. I had to use you, all right? You're the only 3-year-old man child in here. All right. That's Huda.
Yes.
That's Moshe.
Yes.
And you tell me these are the men of wisdom saying this? And let not Mimilech think, process, that this youngster did this thing without da'at, without knowledge, without information, without understanding. You can tell me Huda knows how to fry chicken. He can eat it now. But he doesn't have no knowledge how to fry no chicken. Bake a pie or a cake. Yet here's a 3-year-old from the time of his birth. Yet he caused a fear in the hearts of those that were wise in all of the surroundings. Well, Yah doesn't work with no child. Your damn God doesn't do that. The dog he is. I must prove that he was a child.
Yes.
Did he say that?
Yes.
unless there's a preponderance of empirical evidence, let what I say be a lie. And you all don't even deal with me, all right? I go out and start having this Achim and Achim just do their work, all right? We'll prove all things by scripture. YisraYah'ale?
Yes.
All right, let's go there. Let's turn to Keretzia. I want to show you something first of all. They knew that he knew. They knew that this thing he did was, he was not without knowledge. So I want to begin the process here in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. This is what Shaul says. They knew that he had the Ruach of Yah. Shaul says, for what man knows the things of a man? So what a man knows, he has learned those things by the process of those like him. In the sensual carnal knowledge, he has learned that. Except the Ruach of man, which is in him. Just the Ruach of man, of that born child, teaches him how to be a man. You know, something has been subverted and corrupted when he takes upon the ways of a girl.
Right.
That's just a fact.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
Yes.
Just the law of a man
Right.
is in him.
Yes.
And those dogs of hell knew that he would be a man one
Yes.
day. Shalom. Shalom. They're doing the same thing today.
Right.
You got these young men so they can't sleep without YouTube. They can't even work without, the games and all. That's crazy.
Yes.
And the daughters too.
True.
I remember this Mexican woman, and this was 10, 12 years ago. We were traveling down South Atlanta. And this woman said to my neighbor, Raphael, I just can't do without the Facebook. I see, but everything I do, just when I go home, that's all I do. I just spend all day on Facebook. You are a stupid bimbo. He says, these things knoweth no man, but the Ruach of Yah. No man knows these things. There are things that no man knows.
Yes.
And the only way he can know is by the Ruach of Yah. We will prove that by the Ruach of Yah.
Yeah.
Now we have received not the Ruach of the world, but the Ruach which is of Yah.
Yes.
That we might know the things that are freely given to us by Almighty Yah. And then he says, which things also we speak. Not in the words which man's understanding, his wisdom, his da'at teaches, but which Ruach HaChodesh teach.
Yes, sir.
Ruach of Yah said, take it off, Moshe.
Yes.
Took it off.
Yes.
And he said, Mr. King, I'm putting it in its rightful place. For the kingdoms of the world belongs to my Abba, and we're going to rule.
Yes.
This world is crazy. And somewhere the black Hebrew boy is coming out of the woodworks. He's going to be made known.
Yes.
And he's going to be seen. He said, this is what the Ruach of the man of Yah does. That's why the princess said, Mr. King, this is not just some kind of thing. He says, that mind always compares spiritual things with spiritual things. It begins in the house. You must always inspect yourself by the spiritual realities of what's in the book. You can say you love, but that is not Yah's love.
Yes.
I don't care what you say. And verse 14, but the natural man receive not the things of the Ruach of Yah, for they are foolish, they are mori. They're stupid, they have no concrete evidence. They are foolish to him, neither can he know them, because all the things of Yah are spiritually discerned. Even Balaam and Beor, the son of Beor, they did not understand. They knew that there was something significant. I'll show us now. He was a child, he was a lad, he was a boy.
Yes.
He was a boy. Destroyed DNA of the boy. And mamas, I love you all. But don't make your sons some little effeminate, sissified boy. Don't do that to him. Yeah, I said again, don't make him that way.
Right.
I don't even play with him. I bust him in his head. I give him no rite of passage. I will put my elbow in his chest. I do. The ball game with him. But also remind them, I don't care if she's homeless. As I'm telling you all something, you all treat him like that, but he's going to be the boss hog one day. He's going to eat off all of his hands.
Yes.
He's going to stand tall because his mom is tall. And his daddy is tall. You all may be tall. He's going to be a man. And it's not far away as you think it is. And so mommy here will get on him and fuss at him and tuck him in. I've seen all of them get on him. I've seen her get on him. I've seen that one get on him. I've seen that one get on him. And I've seen that one all get on him. Riding tough.
Yes.
I love him. Get on him. But always remind them he's going to be a man. He's a man child. He's a child, but he's going to be a man. He's going to tower over all of you like his daddy. He's going to eat off your head. He's going to say, sit down. I'm going to eat my supper, not off your head. And don't move, and my plate better not fall. He's going to say to that one there, you sit there and you hold my plate. And he's going to say to mama there, mama, you took me on when I was young. Shalom! I want to rest my plate on your head. He's going to be a protector too. That's right. He'll be there above everything. If he's not, I will bust him up. Maybe a little older than him. That ain't far away, son. I don't know if I'll be able to handle you about that, all right? Listen to this nation. He did not do this without knowledge. How does a 3-year-old, 4 or 5, have some form of formulating knowledge unless it is an election choosing by Yah, that his actions, his activities, and he didn't remember that when he got on what he did. Because he was not going to rely upon some story, he was going to rely upon the King of all kings, upon Almighty Yah. Hallelujah. You must understand that this DNA is in the man's boy.
Yes.
It's in the seed of the son of Ibril or Abia.
Yes.
And I'm going to prove it right now.
Yeah.
You notice that it says a child in, just listen, Yesha 17:6. Now therefore this is a child from the Hebrew children.
Yes.
It's a child. That is not significant. Well, let's go here quickly, all right? See if this kind is significant. In Hebrews chapter 11, verse 11. Is this a child? It says, through Imuna, through faith, also Sarah, herself, she received strength. Hebrews 11:11. She received the strength, the maturation of Yah, to conceive seed. When she was in doubt, she feared. She received the nourishment and the nutrients of the promises of Yah. She received strength and was delivered a child now. Was that child with the promises in that child when he became a man? Or was the child, the knowledge of the DNA was in that before he became a child of the promise? It was there.
Yes.
It was there. And out of that, there was another child born that the promise was sealed.
Yes.
She received a child, but this is just a child here. There were 2 sons.
Yes.
He loved the oldest one. He knew that the promise would progenerate from that man.
True.
We have no discernment that we can see beyond the veil of our corrupt flesh.
Hallelujah.
And that's just the fact. A child, when she was past age, because she judged him faithful, that had promise.
Yes.
Moshe said he's faithful. 3, Yahudah doesn't know anything faithful but that popsicle that he knows coming at 8 p.m. And he gets hot. That's all you know.
Right.
That's all you knew. But there's a DNA.
Yes.
There's a seed of promise. And they are from the region from beyond the nation. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. Well, that doesn't speak much. Well, let me go a little further then. Jeremiah. Let me see if this speaks with some profound nature at all. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 16. Then said I, this is what Jeremiah says unto Almighty Yah. Behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. I am a child. I don't even know how to formulate the words. Even his adult life, he had one by the name of Baruch that wrote for him. And that helped to inspire him. He said, I am but a child. I cannot speak, for I am a child. Yah said to me, say not, I am a child. For you shall go to all that I shall send you. And whatsoever I command you, you shall speak. Oh, we all think we're grown up, don't we?
Right.
When you're grown up, nobody can tell you anything. You're silly.
Yes.
You're immature. And you know nothing. I don't want to live where nobody can tell me anything.
Yeah.
I don't even want to live like that. Even working with a little young brother like that, I ask his opinion. They make you look crazy thinking they know something. I don't ever want to live like that. I'm but a child. What he's a man. Well, let's go a little deeper and see if I can prove what he says. Hosea. Hosea. 1 verse, 11:1. This is Yah. He regards them. He understands the great battles that they have had and had to endure. And he understands how unappreciative they were. We're some very unappreciative people. We're unappreciative to our own trials. We're unappreciative for one another. When she took me to the barn, or when he took me for a ride, well, be appreciative. That's how you learn things. That's how you learn what's in you. That's how you learn. Hallelujah. That's right. And when I tell you all, I don't say that to boast. I work with some of the most, I work with brilliant men, they might be smart young boys. Black and white, and I am. I did. I had to interact with them. And they all honored me greatly. Not because I tried to present myself as being smart, because I was a man that would carry out the responsibility. I would take care of business. That one engineer, John Paddock, was taller than him. Every bit 260 pound, played football, Division I football. He was a big white boy. He wore that military crew cut, but we would battle. He and I. But I never said to him or tried to show him that because of his education. Well, my education, I said, no, sir, it doesn't. And I will not allow you to do that to me. I said, took a certain tenacity, a certain pressing, a certain denial, a strength, and a personality, one that had the ability to balance. I said, don't give me that ball. And they would just look at me like, damn. I said, but I can dig a ditch. I can dig 12 inches deep, 12 inches wide, 9 to 5 foot. How about you? Your hands are too soft, boy. You can't do that. You have an education. You're working like me, man. I wasn't offended. You got bills like me. No different. I wasn't offended at all. And they honored me. They didn't come in me any kind of way. They knew better. O.J. Mendel and the Jewish boys say, come on to my office. Let's talk. I just need to talk to you. Let's go, Jay. Because I will go open you with the hard drive of a monster. I will knock you out. And we would sit there, we were conversing. He had the power to. He was an engineer. I was working with all those engineers in that robotic system of IBM. So I'd go and sit for hours doing it. But I never dishonored their abilities and the strength of their education. That's stupid. I never dishonored that. because I wasn't offended at it. You didn't make me feel small because you're working like me. I didn't feel small. As he goes out with the school, I call him, man, look at you, I tell you, look at that. Everything from doctors to, I tell you what, if you own an all-state, not a dealership, but an agency, that woman down here in Jefferson, before she sold that, she's making over $2 million a year. That ain't no bull. That's for real. And I went to school with Eric Harris. We played ball together. We went to school, John Taylor Webb. And he had his own agency 30 years ago. They're right around the street from each other. I didn't feel bad or feel slighted. I didn't. Because he had to go out, his hours were longer than mine. His worration. He had a house just like me. He had a house payment. And that's just the truth. Well, let me press a little further than that. It says in Hosea 11:1, when YisraYah'ale was a child, and I loved him, we're still a child. Because a child doesn't understand love. He said, I call my son out of Mizraim. He said, when they were a child, I showed them the greatness of my love. And I knew where they were. And that's why I brought them out of. And that's why Moshe, when he took the crown of what you call the great house, there is only one great house. What you call the crown of splendor, there's only one crown of splendor. That's made for us, nation. And so if I can eradicate the black Hebrew boy, that this conscience will be lost, that's why you trained your sons, Daddy, and you loved them, you mothers. Paired the young daughters, married them. That's what you do. No child any better than any. They all love, they all need a bath, and they all dookie-dook, all right? So how are yours any better? And there's no gold coming out of their buttocks. It stinks. Not stink. It stinks. All right. All right. Tell me what a child cannot do. I'll show you a perfect example. Quickly here in 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel. You gonna tell me a boy like that can have the propensity to come before Yah and really minister and just sing and cry? This is how we have dumbed them down. You have no emotions, they have none. You have no pure language to Yah. You don't know how to bless them. Look at this. 1 Samuel 2:18. But Shemuel, that's what it says. Shemuel, he ministered before Yah being a child. He was a child. He was a black Hebrew child. He was a lad. He was a boy. And he ministered before Yah. Even the sons of Abner, Eli couldn't understand that. Hamna and Eliphaz, a child. You understand? A child. A child. Moshe said, give it up. Oh, you done me wrong now, but that's all right. I'm not going to do you like you did me. Give me the crown. You cause everyone to have trepidation. So that's why the young black Hebrew boys being killed. They get my age, most of them are just foolish. Stupid. Shemuel, minister before Yah. You tell me that one could bring the offerings and the salutation before Yah being a child? Isn't that what they said about Moshe? No, he's just a child. But he knows. It says here that this is what the root doctor said. He said, oh my king, just hold that right there with y'all. I will read it because I will print it out. He says, this is one of those, he says, now therefore this is a child from the Hebrew children in whom the Ruach of Yah, in whom you know you got the power of Yah, the Ruach of Yah, and let not, me lords, the kingdom imagine that this youngster, this little lad, did these things without God. He knew what he was doing. So you tell me that your man didn't know what he was doing? He ministered. He cried out. Don't tell me children don't know how to cry out. You don't teach them a damn thing.
Hallelujah.
And I don't apologize.
Hallelujah.
No one. You don't like me, it's all right with me. I love me. Whether you like me or not, I take care of me. That's right. I love me. Love me. Do you understand it? Don't answer. You know I love me. And I just said I love nobody but me. And that'll make you think a little bit. Could be because me and me is me. All right. Me and me is me. Me means me. How about that? There's no more twain that equal the one.
Yes.
So I can love me without loving me. So if I love me, then I love me. If I love me, I care for me, then I care for me. You understand? Got you on that one. Oh, we're going to be buried over there. You're going to be buried where I put you. You're going down my donkey. Hallelujah. He ministered. He carried out the function of the duties of those that did not know how to do it. He was a child. He was a child. And not only that, he girded with the linen ephod. He had on the Kohan garment as a child. As a child. Their children, three, just secular since they're very wise, not wise, but they know quite a bit of things. Well, let me ask you this then. This one from a child knew his position in life, knew what he was called to do. Because mama said, bro, where you been? He said, I got to be about my papa's business. The prophet YisraYah'ale says here, Isaiah 9:6, for to us a child is born, kill, destroy. That's the mindset of Mitzrayim. As we're reminded, we have come out, we got that stinky mess still in us. We've all come out of Mitzrayim, but we got that lust and the love of Mitzrayim in us. For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. That's why Moshe said, give it out. I'm a child. But this kingdom here, and all of the kingdoms belong to my Abba. Oh, I'm a child. So you won't use your own ignorant distraction against me. But if I was you, you know I'm a Hebrew boy. Knows that'll be unkosher. I'm a black Hebrew boy. You better kill me. Because we're going to take hold of everything. We're going to rat this mama. That's the fact.
Yes.
You can't add to nothing Yah has pronounced. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful. And Musa, the counselor, he's going to be the mighty Gibor, the mighty and great one. No one like him. He's going to be known as the everlasting Allah. He's going to be our prince, our czar of Shalom. When we think about that name, we'll have Shalom. You can teach the sons and the daughters that name in his beauty and honesty, and they will be happy. That's just a fact. We'll get you, Mr. Ross. We're going to get you. Don't worry, we got you. From a child. Was that a child?
Yes.
Child minister doing what I'm doing? Little boy, sit down. Why? Because she had a mama that loved you. She was no damn hypocrite. I will. Did she love you? She was not phony and fake. She didn't get in her feelings and her emotions. She's as knows that if you gives me one, as I'm going to give it unto you, Yah. She sang that song of freedom. Freedom! Yeah, freedom. You brought us out. All of our bondage of slavery. As I will not be enslaved again. I will die in your kingdom truth. And I wait on the promise that you told YisraYah'ale. And I wait on Yeshua in my decree. I said, we're going to do an album this fall with different locations. I want to do a beautiful thing. We're singing out, I really do. I want y'all to do an album for the people. You're not going to sell it? You just, do we still have the duplicating machine back there and all that? Okay, we can make them. Nice, beautiful. I want to do an album. I want to do one every year for y'all people, all right? And those that are kind, we will sing them one. Beautiful singing, you all. Write songs. You don't have to write them, just take something out of Tehillim, wisdom. You don't have to make it sound appealing to people's ears. You make it appeal unto Yah. That's all. Hallelujah. That's what the book says. That's who he's going to be. But then Yahshua, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want us to get this right, all right? Yeah. Zakim will teach. Next, I'll do this one, he'll do the next one, right? Yes, all right then. I want to make this sound to us. The death of the black Hebrew boy. This is part 2, but part 3. But this will be part 1. Look what it says here in Yahshua. 70 and 7. If you get nothing out of this teaching today, you go back and study this in the aspects. Just this one verse, all right? Because I'm going to close me anything. I would above all things that I've had a teacher. I love Evangelist Hartsfield. Nothing I would not do for him. They would rebuke me, my childish nature would rise up. But my love for him was so great that it didn't bother me. The next minute, come on. Brother, you want to eat some steak? Yes, sir. He wanted his steak that thick. And with blood running out, he just put it on brown it on one side and the other. That's how he wanted, like, I ain't going for that. That's how he didn't like it. He liked it like that. Let's walk up to that store and get them cut us one of those ribeyes and get tonic water. He got me hooked on tonic water. I still like tonic water. I haven't had it in a long time. I may get a bottle. How about that? Now, I want to read this in Yeshua 70 verse 7. Notice what he says. For he is a Hebrew boy. That's what they said now. He's a Hebrew boy. He's a Hebrew boy. The identity was that he did not do this without knowledge. He has knowledge of this. Although he's 3, he's got knowledge. For he is a Hebrew boy. Kama and Chukma and wisdom and Minor. He can discern. That's what Minor is. That's what understanding is. The power to discern, to know. That's what understanding is. It's Minor. Need is to know. Not by some twinkling of your silly eye. It's the revelation of the fullness of Yah's Torah that he put in your belly before you were ever born. Before you were ever formed, YisraYah'ale. Hallelujah. I put this in you then. I'm no YisraYah'ale. I'm no person of any position that closely resembles anyone in this book. I'm just a yielded dude, nobody. I'm not trying to be somebody. I'm not trying to tell everybody. I'm just trying to tell the people that hear me the truth. You haven't heard no teaching like this. I don't care what you say. You out there, the few of you that are listening, you haven't heard this. For he is a Hebrew boy. And the chukmah, the wisdom and understanding, look at that, are with him. It's with him. It's with him.
Yes.
In essence, it walks side by side. Wisdom, understanding. Make me brazen and bold. It's with him. And then they prophets that. Although I'm telling you, gang, he be a child, don't take him for granted. Don't just think that this ain't not real. Yeah, ain't not real. Don't think that this is not of great power. Although he be a child, kill every Hebrew boy. Kill every black Hebrew boy. Although he be a child, comma, and with wisdom. And with wisdom. He had wisdom. Don't tell me I love Hura. But Hura ain't got no wisdom like that. But he does. He shouldn't have his son, his mom and dad. Now let him go and say, Hura, do what you want to. He's ready to jump on the plane. Granted, you won't die. He is yet a child, and with wisdom, he has done this. He didn't do this out of some kind of little foolish notion. He's got wisdom as to what he's doing. Kill every black Hebrew child. That's what they're doing today. Shooting the sons dead in the street. Mothers are using you. I'm not putting the blame on you because they killed the man. They not killed. They killed. Yes. They killed the man before you ever put the zera of the seed in you. They took the will. They took life. They took every kind of promise there was. So he couldn't do anything. He didn't know what to. And you were not raised with that kind of authority that showed you the beauty of your place, your position. Because kill the Hebrew boy, see the woman, I'll use her. I'll let her be the chamber of death. If he's there, we'll find him and we'll kill him. They've never killed one. So that's the reality of the nation.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I tell you, I really didn't even want to teach this because every day this week, at night, I look at this, and every word I have to examine. You got to examine it because every word of God is pure. Now, you're not just going to sit down with a belly full of, what was I eating last night? I was hungry last night. I was eating, I don't call that cereal. I was eating some of that grain, that oat, what do they call that stuff? Huh? Granola and some apple, and with me some, I eat that at what time, 9? I was hungry as a bull for. Like at the work I can't eat, I got to eat in the summer. I was just hungry, my gut, I gotta get something to eat. And some of that almond milk. So I kept that up about 8. I was hungry. And I went to bed too. I didn't have no crazy dreams, all right? I was hungry as they got. I hadn't eaten much yesterday. And I worked hard. He gonna roll again. He is yet a child, and I want to tell you, and with wisdom, he has done this. No, it's Yah's wisdom. And chosen to himself the kingdom of Yisrael. He has done this. He got wisdom, and this is his kingdom. Well, all the kingdoms belong to Almighty Yah. And the kingdoms, we shall rule with great authority over every kingdom. And that's just a fact. So he didn't do this just by some chance. Hallelujah. He's a child, but he has wisdom and understanding. And this is what we must pray. Let me show you the pattern of that. In First Chronicles chapter 22 verse 12. This is the child Shalom. This is the cry of Dawid unto Almighty Yah. 1 Chronicles 22:12. He says, only Yah give you. He's talking about Shalom. He said, you only Yah can give. He said, give him wisdom and understanding. Give him wisdom and understanding. Did I not just read that what they said? He's a Hebrew boy, and wisdom and understanding is with him. Kill the black. Yes, say it like that. I intend to trouble all of you, Hebrew boy. That wisdom and understanding, and give you charge concerning YisraYah'ale. For what reason? That he may keep the Torah of Yah. You must keep that. I heard the fool say the great Hadassah and the renewed covenant. It speaks everything against the Torah of the old covenant. I'm like, this is a fool. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It is revealed to show us the power of that great book. They're the same. One doesn't diminish the other. It testifies to one. And that's him. Nobody else. It doesn't testify to me, but him. That is the wisdom of Yah. Was he a child? Pray Yah, you put this in. He's a child, but he has that first king. First Melachim. First King 4:29. Quickly. And it says this. You think that Shalom procured wisdom and understanding by some kind of maturity and maturation? This is what let me know he did not. First Melachim, First King 4:29. And Yah gave, not that. He bestowed, he granted. He put that in him. And Yah gave Shalom wisdom and understanding exceedingly much. He put it in him because the DNA was there. Yes. So the words they killed the black Hebrew boys. Killed them. Where are they from? They're from the rivers beyond the rivers of Cush. Cush, black. They're from beyond that. And so we have the narrative of lies today. They're nothing but lies. Yes. This faggot, Jesus is a lie. True. Yes. I don't care if you don't like it. Right. And I said so that you that feel uncomfortable with that, one day you'll feel comfortable. Because you've been lied to. Right. You've been lied to, you've been lied to, you've been lied to, you've been lied to, you've been lied to. We put this damn dog, this image out. Right. The Hebrews came from beyond the river of Cush. How the hell could he look like that? You can let your emotions play with you. You're a sinner. That's right, old mother. That's right. You respect that lie? Go to hell. I don't care who it is. I would tell my mother that. You respect a lie. You respect a lie and dishonor the truth? You are a damn fool. You're worse than a damn fool. You're going to be damned. I will never respect that lie. The same Jesus that the Master said, I said, I want you praying to him. In my forefather's sight, this superior image, boy, you got to do wrong. Suppressing, oppressing, you bother not. And one time he looked at our ignorance. That old boy down there, he born by Batinia Davis, and make sure he didn't have no daddy. I'll be his daddy. Never knew a daddy. He'd have been with the old man that was his daddy. He would have been a little arrogant, thinking he was better. He was strong or something like that. Man, he don't have no daddy. He'd be a bastard boy. How many of you think was born bastards? How many of you think that Mr. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, how many babies they put out? That's where you have the mulatto skin. How many of them black gals that you think that they took and they were them? George Washington traveled Miss Henning. She was his bed-warming whore. What could she do? Nothing. Nothing he bought her. We are crazy people. We don't want to deal with the reality of things. People that could not even read. And they gave you the image of this lie. It's amazing that because even the image, if you look at some of the historical elements of prayer, I do things like that. You spend time on the damn internet doing nothing, but being a jackass. I'm not trying to get in touch with somebody I knew one time. I don't give a damn. When I say I will not waste my time, I'm not trying to find those that left from here. I'm not trying to find those that were down there, the Walter or any damn way. I'm not trying to find them what I met with them. I'm not trying to find no one. But those that want to find me, they'll find me. I tell you a story at the end because that was a beautiful thing I have. A young son working on back there. You don't want reality. You want liars. We can accept liars because we like to lie. I hate liars. And don't lie to me because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to embellish anything or try to make it where you will be accepted. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Tell me what I said. I know what I said. You don't lie to me. I rather you spit in my face and then lie to me. I can't handle that. You let come over and give me your lips after that. We're silly. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to lie to you as people from day one. I have not stolen one damn time. I have not robbed no one. And that's just a fact. May y'all kill me. And I don't say that I say that without any reservation. To search my mind and see if I have. I haven't. Son, your father, when he was with me, I would give him when we were keeping Sunday and every Shabbat preaching. Every night. I don't care what it was. I gave it to him. I didn't do that for me. I loved him as a friend. And I'm glad before he died, he realized that this man loved me. I'm glad I died. Now I'm going to say what I said because I did him no wrong. I did him no wrong. I did him no wrong. Quickly, I want to close. Back to YHWH right quick. Isaiah 11:2. You see, it's one thing about the black Hebrew boy. The Yah has elected. There's certain things here, Isaiah tells us, YHWH 11:2. And the Ruach of wisdom and the Ruach of Yah shall rest upon him, O Yahshua. And the Ruach of wisdom, Chokmah, he's skilled, he knows how to battle. I am a warrior. I know how to fight. And the understanding, he can discern. He knows who's real and who's not. The Ruach of Musa, the counsel, to rebuke, to uproot, and to tell you your lie. And the Ruach of might, and the Ruach of Da'at, and above all, the fear, and the Ruach of the fear of Yah. I know I'm going to die, so I'm not going to lie and cheat you, all right? I'm not going to steal from you. I don't take money as you when you send it to spit on me and to waste y'all's funds on foolish mess. All kinds of damn cell phones and computers, stupid. Stupid! Modern technology, it doesn't drive you close to him, it drives you far from him. And it's so stupid. Stupid! We're out when I finish. When I finish with one, there ain't nothing there. It's gone. And I use it for where I can research things. I'm glad we can do that now. You understand? One more verse and I'm closing. It was one that was raised under the authoritarian power of Bobad. confusion everywhere. His name is called YisraYah'ale. I'll read this in my closing. I want to say a few words today. I'll read it and tell you where it's from. He was raised under that kind of scrupulous corruption, trained in the house of darkness, but they did not allow not to usurp that which was in them as a child, as a black Hebrew boy. This is what the king said. And the king communed them. Oh, and among them all, among all of his brilliant minds, there were no one found like YisraYah'ale, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Nobody. As a child, they have the mark on them.
Yeah.
They're the markings of Yah. Therefore stood they before the king, and it all mattered. The king said, eat all of my great foods. Learn the ways of the Chaldeans and the ways of darkness. They said, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I will not. And they stood before the king, who thought he was brilliant, like some of us, like we all think we're smart. And you're stupid. When he pronounced that word that way, it's properly pronounced this way. You're not eating gold for dinner and dropping out gold balls, all right? So don't be silly. There are people that are like that. Ours don't care how's a man talk. Ours don't care if he say you is me. We shot that, and he shot us over there, over yonder ways. That's how they talk. Where's your Palatia? You didn't have it, and you still don't have it. You're not going to have it. I'm going to a kingdom.
Yeah.
This is what it says. And they stood before the Melech, the king. Verse 20. And in some manners, but all manners, all manners, all manners, all manners, in all manners, in all urich, in all directions, in everything, every kind of science and knowledge, every path, every way, in all matters of wisdom and understanding. You see the combination, wisdom and understanding. Kill that Hebrew boy. Get him, make him madly poor, bang him up in the dead he owns. Where's the boy? Can't teach nothing but death. That oppressed people, well, he think little of himself. And he looks at those that live in the big white houses and shiny. And he's the one down. And he go rob to get it, and we got it. We are crazy people.
Yes.
We are so immature, it's pathetic. And in all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them, he found them not to be 1 time, but 10 times better than all of the magicians and astrologers, which was in the whole power of control. That's YisraYah'ale, 190. He found them to be more wise and stronger, because that is the connection that by his ruach, he puts in that black Hebrew boy.
Yeah.
We as parents, we don't know how to guide them. You can't guide someone without your life representing the principle you're guiding them with.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
It's almost like my mother telling my sister that don't do this. When I would say, Mama, you're doing that, why are you telling us that? How can you tell us that and you're doing vice versa? I didn't have no men in my life to help me. And that's why it was over 50 years when I saw this daughter of Zion. I was talking to one from Alabama yesterday. And my Israel could hear, she says, as you talk, he got sad. Can you tell? Sure could tell. You could sense it in his voice. He got so sad. Because there are not many genuine men out there. I told him what's going to work and what's not going to work. He's about 30-some years old. And these are his words. I would just love to come there. If he said, whatever you say, just sit on your feet for a while. I was literally sitting on your feet. We're too damn arrogant, full of pride. And those principles that I learned from him, I couldn't have learned them from no one else. May the riches be our rest upon your future. Let me say this before I close, and I pray that he's listening. All right. I recall this so vividly as I sit here. It was the call I got in 2005. It was in the summer. You got to understand, we didn't have the funds for me to have, for us to have the, like, there's an office number. So I would give out the 7291 number. And so I recall this quite vividly. A man calls me. And I could tell we were almost in the proximity of the same age. Very vivacious voice. And the man was in prison. We didn't have money back then. It'd be a different thing now. You see how this corona God may go up. You see this man, he was in prison. And I enjoyed the conversation with him. You could tell he was a genuine man. I could. And I think he called me that year or a year later. He called me several times. And he was in prison. He wanted me to come. And so I got this, Ema gave me, this man called me. I don't generally call people back. I really don't. They call again, then I will call back. But when people call, and there are people that call with silly questions, I don't call them back. I got work to do. I don't call them back, I'll be honest. There are those that I will call back. There are those I don't call back, and they don't call me back. I don't have time for that folly. But I remember this conversation, we had a conversation, and it was pleasant. We talked about 10, 15 minutes, if I can recall precisely. And so Ema gives me this telephone number. The other day we came in, what was that? It said, this man called you. And I saw them, I said, how did he get that number? I'm thinking in the last 10, 12 years, I've always gotten telephone calls on the 6222 number. And so I called this brother. And we began to talk. He said, do you remember me? Well, no. And then as we began to talk, he said, I called you in 2005. And so the name began to ring a bell. I said, you know, tell me a little something about the conversation. He said, I was in prison, and I was trying to get you to come up. I said, yes, I vividly recall you. And I did. And so from that time to now, even when he was in prison, he has done 36 years in prison. He said, I want to come visit you. I said, well, hold up for a minute. And these were the words. I said, you don't have anyone there? He says, I don't even know nobody. So tell me about your damn excuse. Yeah. He said, I have nobody. He said, 36 years. I don't know. He said, I have nobody. No mother. Don't give me the bullshit. I said it that way. I intend to. He's a handsome man to be 70 years old. He sent me his picture. Strong looking man. He doesn't look 70. I said to him, he looks like me. Maybe even look younger. Grow your beard though. Let your beard grow. He said, I have nobody. I've always said this to y'all. I said, our brothers that have been in prison or something, they have a more structured form. 36 years, but I know his life is structured. From man that old to look as healthy as he looks, you can tell he wasn't just in the lonely sandwiches and all of that. He had nobody sending nothing. So my heart was just overwhelmed. So I got my friend honest man, they are. He said, I don't know nothing all these years. He says, been decades ago. These kinds of things, I don't know. That kind of honesty, and my heart feels for him. I can't say that I didn't have nobody. My mother lived, she was there. Brothers, I don't know what purpose they were, but still they were there. And to go through this with no one, they live out me. He's not a young man. So I said to my son, just take it, just you handle this for me. And you commune with him. We'll see how next year in February he will have nowhere to stay. Nowhere. So we see how things go. I know he's listening. I come up and I go back just for a day to see him. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live without him. Not having no one. I can tell in his expression and all of that. He's not a foolish man. I met a lot of foolish old men like that. I don't have time of day for them. You can tell he's a very sensible man. 36 years of being locked up. That makes you think. And because of the heel of his skin, that's the ultimate reason. He gave that man that much time. I can look at his face and tell you he was a moral person, right? Those cats that are tough in there, they want to throw some hands. You better know that. Stab wounds all there. And so in that place he found Yah. Sins revealed. It's amazing that he still had the telephone number. Now. So brother like that, if we can help him pass on through this life and learn to fish. I want to know. I've been in trouble, but not trouble. I bless y'all for YisraYah'ale. I don't care if you get mad at me. I don't care about that. So what? If you don't like me, at least you know you don't like me. We can always, there's one thing about life, you can always rectify things. I don't care what I've done to her. Can I get it right?
Hallelujah.
I don't care how I treated her, I get it right. I can always change. I don't care what I've said to her, I can always make amends for that. I just bless Yah and all of my weaknesses. And I'm weak. I've never had the arrogance not to recognize my wrong. I bless him for that. I know I'm wrong. And you all go to hell. Don't tell me someone doing you wrongly, someone that speak. If you call them evil, you're just as evil as they is. I'm right and you're wrong. You're just as damn wrong.
Yeah.
You called that one wrong and you called that one wrong. Both of you wrong.
Yeah.
I'm right in that. I take no side but Yah's side. The righteous side. I don't take her side. I take the right side. I don't care what this is. You got a fault. And you all the ones that teach this. And the reason you can't do it because you don't do it. It is right.
Hallelujah.
If there's an infraction against you with anyone, go tell them the infraction. That's how you do that.
Yes.
But nobody's going to listen. Well, if you say that because you don't listen to a damn thing. That's just it. Whatever you say, you don't do it. Someone done you wrong, just tell them.
Yeah.
See, your self-righteousness, you're not righteous. Because that's what the book says. And then let it fall on them. You still do right.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Let it fall on them. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
This is a sick generation. It is very sick.
Hallelujah.
Immature. I'm glad when I was growing up, I hung around old people. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even like young women. I didn't. I love people up there. Didn't because they were too immature. I could have had 50 babies up there, but I don't. When I was in high school, son, 10th grade, the girls in the 10th grade are like the seniors, like juniors. That's just a fact. But I'm glad that y'all kept me from all of that. I'm so glad. I didn't have nothing. I tell you one story. I'm going. I had these friends. I thought they were my friends. One we called Tonk, and the other one was called Ronald Mitchell. His brother was a mail carrier then. His father and mother were pretty old. He was the youngest. So at 16, he had driver's license. He had a car. So we would hang and go places together. And that's when South Park, the mall out there, I recall going in there one day. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to try to pontificate myself. I went in there that day and I stole. I didn't have no clothes, but I stole clothes from them and me. At the shopping bag, I knew how to do things like that. They were hustlers taught me. They ran off and left me. I got home, son. I got in touch with them and gave them everything that they wanted. I jeopardized my son for them to try to say, I will be your friend. And they still turn against me. And the woman that Ronald married, she was infatuated with me. But I'm glad, son, because I can see him today. I can see him and look him in his eyes and know that I haven't done him wrong. You understand? So that's what life is. You do right by everyone.
Hallelujah.
Don't be pumping yourself. You're no better than no one. As long as you think someone has done you, you've done others that same wrong. And that's just a fact. Always remember that. I see them and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not in your shoes. And I am. I'm glad I can get them work some. I'm glad I can get the job done. So the way you think that someone else has done you wrong and they're wrong, you're worse than them. Because I would tell you. And that's the only way you resolve anything. Because if you don't, you will keep that. But what's see the shit in you, you'll keep it there. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. I'm brazen enough and bold enough to tell you that. But nobody hears me. Well, you know, I sent this in my email the other day. People will say, well, I spoke, I said this, you didn't hear me. Well, I did do it. Well, hell, you're going to always hear you say something. That doesn't mean someone else. I say, it's so silly. How many times in all of these years we've been married, I would say, you didn't hear what I said? No, I said it. But I didn't hear you. Why is it that we think that's strange? You've been married longer than me, don't tell me all them years. Baby, I told you where it was. Quick, I didn't hear you. Say what? What did you say? That's right. I know it's right. On both behalves. You can be running to your shop and you don't hear them. It is right. Because mama has to me, well, you talk so somebody can hear you.
True.
We're so silly and immature.
Yes.
We're so immature
True.
and stupid.
Hallelujah.
Tell me that hasn't happened with you. I've been married as long as anyone except them in here. And how many times can I tell you, I've been upset with my wife, but it doesn't go beyond that. Okay, come on, it's just lovely woman. Jump around me. That's what you need to do. Come here. Come on and love me. I'm not going to bed with my wife. I'm pissed off at her. Having something in my craw against the nation. I'm not going to do that. I will come tell you. That's fact, isn't it? That's right. I don't play. I'm not going to die that way. I'm not going to die. Because you hoard that mess in you, you're going to die that way. You're going to die that way. I'm not going to take up for nobody's wrong. If it's up, you and her. Now see this last thing. You weren't here, my friend. Those Jezebels that were here, all of them, they came against only. She couldn't do nothing right. But what right were they doing? It was always her. You know you're quite shallow and weak when it's always someone else. You are. I don't care who you is. I brought him up right here. And I rebuked him before all. I did. And there was one that was here. She's dead now. She left, sneaked out one night. I don't know why she did that, because nobody had on the shackles of bondage. And I recall her going to him and saying, you've done nothing wrong. Why is he doing that to you? And all those other liars have been in cahoots with each other and lying. Where are they now? Where are they? Where are they? Now rebuke her again. I always said I would never do that. I won't do it because, but if she do something wrong, if it's going to be some kind of infraction again. Yeah, not some. If it's an infraction, I will rebuke her. Yes. So who have I been upset? I've been upset with me, her, you. I get upset with him. Let's go, boy. But you know, boy, you better walk. No, I don't want you to walk. I want you to run down there. Tell me you're not working hard as I'm working. Then he go snitch on me that it's easier here with you than with him. And slap in my face. Yeah, I know I say you're not, we're going to work to 3:30 or 4. Where's the other one? Were they playing? I said, that's all right, you playing too, come on. You get to enjoy this. Why don't you bring all of them? Because I wouldn't get anything done with all of them. That's just a fact. You all see the garden out there? We all, Akim got together, we did that. Y'all been looking at the garden? You see they're like those, what's it called, that tall. Look how tall they are now. You got to clean the house. You got to clean your house. Look at the okra and all of that now. I said how long it was going to take us. I knew how long it was going to take us. Because I saw the manpower, know what we do, how we do it. We do it in an organized fashion, the way it will not take long. I know exactly how long it's going to take me to do anything. I know how long it's going to take me. I know exactly how long. And so we get upset. So what? Get upset. Grow up. The devil gets mad. And that's how you do it. Nobody's going to listen to me because you don't listen to no damn one. That's why. Everybody's against me. No, you're against everybody. That's just the fact of the matter. I will never say that. And I don't care what no one says. That's just not the way life is. It's not that way. It's just not that way. I'm wrong just like you are. And we all are wrong. We all. And the old Proverbs, 2 wrongs don't make a right. It doesn't make it right. If I do you wrong, you do me wrong, it doesn't make it right. It takes someone of greater perpetuity and strength to say, all right, let's get it together. I'm wrong. May the riches of God rest upon you all. You that have joined us and send your gifts and offerings to help. Write me and tell me if you heard this before, right? Not boasting. I'm just saying that this will enrich you greatly.
Yeah.
The death of the black Hebrew boy. I use the word black because he said there be young Cush. And the word Cush means black. B-L-A-C-K. Yabro, bless that feet. Turn toward Yahushua, like even all things we do are about for the riches of your blessings. We thank you for everything, for keeping us and watching over us. We pray for YisraYah'ale. We pray for the people of your nation, those that need healing. We pray for YHWH and also our precious friends, Dawid, and Yeshua, Yaakov, and the family. We pray for our brother Frank. Bless him, I pray, and touch him mightily. And all YisraYah'ale is our prayer. Touch us all, revive us, strengthen us so that we have genuine care one for another. These things I ask in the most magnanimous name of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's my prayer. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.